Hello, my name is John Schneider. When I was a kid, I used to visit my Grandma Vi in the Jersey Bayshore area, and I'd take 8mm movies of my family and their friends. In fact, I was the family filmmaker. I shot everything I saw, and I loved it. I was fascinated by the variety and beauty of things to do and see in this wonderful area. The Shrewsbury River and the $1 Million Bridge, as they called it. This is a view of highlands from Mount Mitchell, one of the highest places on the eastern seaboard. I loved seeing the New York City skyline from New Jersey when I was a kid, and I loved watching the sailboats on Raritan Bay. This is my mother, who also loves the area. And this is me, looking into the lens of my camera. Today I live here, but traded my film camera for video, and recently shot this tugboat in the Shrewsbury River. Welcome to Jersey Bayshore country. Where is the Jersey Bayshore? Let's get oriented by starting with the big picture. It's somewhere in here, part of the universe, and definitely part of our world. But it's like no place I've ever experienced. And as soon as we land, I'll show you around. Hello everybody, I'm your host for Jersey Bayshore Country. I'm John Schneider, and today we are going camping at the Turkey Swamp Campground and Park in Monmouth County. And I hope you'll enjoy this program. We're gonna, in a minute, we're gonna get in the car and we're gonna look for our camp spot. We'll look at all of the things that there are to do in the park, and we're gonna get with Ranger Scott, who's agreed to kind of show us around and what there is to do. There's campgrounds and cabins and trails and archery and a lake and boating and fishing and exploring and just kicking back and relaxing and enjoying Mother Nature. And that's what we're going to do today. But first, where are we? So there's New Jersey on the left, Monmouth County, and then over on the right, close up, and where Turkey Swamp Park is located. To the north up there, around Middletown and Matawan, that's all Jersey Bayshore country. This is the Turkey Swamp Park map. And there's where we're going to be camping. So let's jump in the car and start looking for our spot, which I believe is E10. Here we go. Well, this is my campground, and it's beautiful out here. There's nobody around that I can see. I'm early. It's not even the weekend yet. So the first thing I like to do when I look at a campground is I like to get a sense of how private is this. Well, this is what I'm surrounded by. There's no tents that are going to be over to this side. There's no tents to the back of me. There seems to be a little trail that might lead somewhere, but it's not a major trail. And there's no tent over to the right of me, although I do see a campground over there and there's nobody there yet, so that's not a concern. The other thing that's nice about this particular campsite is this road right here is my private road to my private campsite. So I can park out here if I want to, which would be nice. And then I can go out to the main road, which is out here, and that's where the traffic will come by, but it's only 5 miles an hour, and you'd be surprised, once you're in a campground, you don't drive that much. Here's the trash can and the recycling bucket, which are conveniently located. And there's a water spigot right here. So if I wanted to bring a hose and have water, running water, that would go right to my campground, I could do it. And this, my friends, is the electrical outlet for my campsite. See? Look at that. I could even put a major appliance in here. You see that? It's pretty incredible. Now, arguably, one of the most important things in a campsite, no, it's not the laundry, although you think it might be. It's restrooms and shower facilities. And, well, I'm going to take you into the men's room since I'm a man, and we'll check it out. So it is surprisingly clean in here, and this is going to sound awfully crazy, but it smells good in here. This is the men's room, and everything, I'm not going to show you the urinals or the toilets, but it's all clean. It's all clean, and the floor is clean. So this is perfect, and this is sort of in the center of the campground. So if you need to, you know, shave or shower in the morning or whatever, here are the showers. There's 3 of them, and you can see that it is as clean as can be. I mean, this looks really nice. I've done some camping in my time, and this is one of the best kept restrooms I've seen in a long time. There's even a baby changing table. This is the laundry room. There are 3 washers, a folding shelf, and some dryers, and a nice view. And by the way, if you need some sodas or something like that, here they are. That's the bathroom, showers, and laundry facility over there. And right out here is a wonderful playground for the kids. I mean, look at this. Isn't this amazing? And over here, tables to play checkers or chess. And this is that really nice foamy stuff, so if the kids fall, they don't get hurt. Some more tables over here, and some more things to play on. Look at that. There's a tube you can crawl through, and another table. And there is trash and recycling bins everywhere in this park, so you have no excuse to litter. And sadly, I did find a plastic paper cup today in the woods and a couple of other things, but for the most part, the park is kept very clean. Okay, now that we've done sort of a 360 of the campsite, we know where the trash is, we know where the electricity is, we know where the water is, we know where the restrooms and the showers are. We kind of don't have a complete lay of the land yet, but we have to now decide, where do we put the tent? This is the tent. It is a dome tent, and I'm going to put it down here because it's been a while since I have actually done any camping. And this tent looks like this. It looks just like this, and I have not put it together yet, so I like to make sure I have the picture handy, and we'll take a look at what's inside. We'll put the box over here so we can constantly refer to the picture. All right, so here we go. This is all right. There's some straps on this thing here that need to come off, and then there's another strap here that needs to come off, and then we're going to unroll it. Now there's some stuff. See, bags of stuff here. We're going to set the bags of stuff aside, and there's also some kind of tools here, and we'll take a look at these in a minute. But right now, what we're trying to do is figure out where the tent should go, and we can get a sense of the largeness, the size, by simply spreading it out like this. All right, so this tent is a lot bigger than I ever thought it would be. This is the front, and the reason I think this is the front is because tents often have an apron that comes out, so when you come in and out of the tent, it's kind of like a doormat. So we wanted this tent to face that way, so we're going to take this tent and move it around so that the door faces the woods. Here we go. So now we're looking out toward the woods. All right, now we've got the base of the tent on the ground. It's exciting. Once we get this, we'll be fine. I see something already that shows that we have some kind of these structural things that are going to go outside or inside the tent. They stick together really easy. And it's a good time to realize and recognize how important and wonderful nature is. And the Monmouth County Park System does a marvelous job of providing all of us with opportunities to do just that. And this place is one of the best campsites I've seen in a long time. Okay, all the poles are done. Now all we have to do is figure out what's next. When in doubt, go back to the directions. Now these are the directions. All right, let's get these things positioned properly. So right about now, I'm thinking to myself, did I make a mistake by camping in a tent when I could have stayed in this beautiful cabin? I mean, it's really pretty simple. There's water, there's electricity, a roof over your head, and an air conditioner. But when you go in, there's sort of a master bedroom with a bed for two. And then when you go into the back room, there's 2 bunk beds. You could sleep 4 back there. And the ranger told me lots of people bring card tables and furniture and really sort of make a home out of it for the weekend or the week. So I'm starting to think maybe I should have gone into a cabin, but let's get back to the tent and see if we can't get this thing together. I think that's it. All right, so I think, see, this pole slipped out. This is starting to look a little like a tent. All right, let's rest, because while it looks like it's getting close, I don't think it's done yet. I'm not sure why, but I just have a sneaking suspicion that all of these things here have to be, something's got to happen there, and it's not happening. So we're going to go inside and see. All right. Oh, here we are in the tent, and let's look around. You know, I don't see any leaks. There's a place to hang your lantern, and open these so you can see. You get a nice view from that side. The nice thing about this tent is a big man like me can stand in the middle. And then, of course, there's a screen here where you can look out. Well, it is a beautiful view. We have privacy on all sides. At some point, other campers are going to come, probably for the weekend. This is Friday morning. I don't know how long it took me to set up this tent. I would say probably at least an hour. But now that I know how to do it, I'm still going to go back and look at a video on YouTube, and I'm still going to go back and kind of rethink what I did wrong and what I did right. But this is nature, and it is so great to be out here alone, except with my camera, of course. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to meeting some of the other campers. If that's not your thing, then just hang out by yourself and and bring your family or your boyfriend or your girlfriend or your mom or your dad or your kids, and just enjoy. Let's go explore and see what's out in this part of the neck of the woods, and we'll see what there is to see here at Turkey Swamp Campground. But before you leave, make sure you zip up all your stuff so no animals get to it. Well, it's still early in the morning here in the campground area, and so there aren't a lot of campers here yet. In fact, I don't see any around me, and it could be, depending on the weekend, that you won't see many campers. You might have the campground all to yourself. So for the most part, campers are, I found, to be nice people, but you should always lock up your vehicle when you decide to go for a walk. And if there's anything that's valuable in your tent, you should probably also lock it up in your car. So I don't know what this is. So let's go find out what is a council ring. So here we are at the tribal ring. This is like Survivor. This is a fire pit. And I'm thinking this is where they roast the big marshmallows. You know, it's nice to know that the tribal pit is so close to my tent. I'm sort of over there and through the woods, and I don't know if you can see my tent, but if I need to call a tribal council, I'll do it. So we've sort of come to a crossroads here. There's a path that goes that way, or there's a path that goes that way, or there's a path that goes that way. This would be great to fly a frisbee, run a dog, ride a horse. Off to the right is another pathway. A lot of the pathways are clearly marked here. Something over here. Look what it is. It's a fit trail. So this is station 19. So we know that there are 18 stations before this one, and presumably a few after this. So that's nice to know. Here is Scott Schaff. He is one of the park rangers here. He's been a park ranger for as long as anybody can remember. He took me out in this golf cart, so we were able to go through all the trails, about 8 miles of trails in the park. It's interesting. Scott wanted to be a park ranger when he was in high school, and his dream came true. That's exactly what he does. In fact, he lives on the property with his wife and family. What a wonderful job. He loves it. He loves everything about it. And I even asked him, would you like to just get out of the park and go to New York City? Don't you need a break from all this beauty? He said, absolutely not. He says on his days off and vacations, he sometimes spends time in this park. There's fishing here too, and he loves to fish, so he will fish in the lake occasionally. He throws them back. It was funny, every time there was something down in the trail, Scott would get out and move it. He was very conscientious. If there was litter or something, we'd stop and he'd pick it up. The trails are really nice. They're somewhat primitive, as you can tell, but they're all interesting. And sometimes it's different colors, different trees, different flora, just a real variety of things to look at. This is the Manasquan River, or at least part of it, and it was sort of interesting to see. It was a very weird kind of brownish color. It had rained somewhat heavily in the last 24 hours. That was one of the reasons, but there's also a lot of iron in the water, which makes it brown. It was a very interesting contrast. forest. I thought this tree was interesting. Look at the toadstool. There were a few of those. These are blueberries. They were bunches and bunches of wild blueberries. See them? Very interesting. Again, more trails. Really nice to kind of walk through. And again, here is Scott picking up litter and bringing it back to the golf cart. So there's the lake. The lake is so cool. It's a man-made lake. It was dammed up, and it's really nice. There are 2 islands on the lake. Really beautiful. There's things to do there all the time. Fishing, of course. I ran into these 2 guys, and they just loved casting their lines out, and they caught a few fish while they were there. Here we go. Let's cast it out, see what we can get. What a nice look. He's got a fish. It's not a big one, and I think they threw it back, but it's always fun to catch another fish. Let's see if they can catch another one. Oh, there you go. He was very happy with his catch. Here's a view of the lake from the air. There's a promenade or a boardwalk along the lake, which is very nice. There are more than 2,000 acres in this park, and you can rent boats. No motors except for the park rangers, but there are all kinds of different boats, rowboats and all kinds of things. And I asked Scott if a lot of people like to rent boats. He says, oh, it's very popular, very, very popular. People ride bicycles. There's a guy over there with a bike. And look at these beautiful water lilies and flowers. There were lots of those. I thought that was an interesting shot. It's a rather big lake, and it was interesting to go into some of the coves. I saw a turtle, saw some ducks. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? I like that shot. It's cool. And when we got a little closer, all the babies got closer to the mother. Look at these water lilies. There were quite a few of those. Isn't that something? Really pretty. A couple of guys we saw on the way fishing on the banks of the river. Very, very nice, pleasant day at Turkey Swamp Campgrounds. There's that big grassy field. Oh, that's a nice bench. A whole group of kids were doing a scavenger hunt when I was there. It was really nice. And here we come back to the beach where we're gonna dock the boat. So I think the tent is in good shape. It's not put together exactly the way that it's supposed to be put together. Maybe I'll futz with it later in the day. Maybe tonight after dinner, after I cook myself some swordfish kebabs on the grill, and I have maybe some roasted marshmallows, which I intend to do. I'll think about doing this tent a little bit better. And you should really think about making absolutely sure that your tent is in good shape before you go to bed, because once it gets dark, it might get cold, it might be rainy, it might be windy, your tent could collapse upon you. I've had that happen in my younger years, and believe me, you don't want to be dealing with problems in the middle of the night, in the middle of the woods, in a tent. So I'm gonna relax, get some shut-eye, and then I'm gonna bring in all my stuff. You don't need to see that. I hope you'll come out here. All right, I'm getting a little shut-eye. I'll talk to you later. Just a short nap. See ya. Bye-bye. Well, it's late in the day. We had a great time. Thanks to Ranger Scott and the Monmouth County Park System. I want to thank all of the people who have helped me learn so much about what is provided to us, whether you live in Monmouth County or whether you live outside of Monmouth County or whether you're in the Jersey Bayshore or not. There's some really cool things to do. And I hope you will consider camping as one of those cool things and try it at least once. I think you'll enjoy it. Go to monmouthcountyparks.com to learn more about this campground and all of the other parks in the park system. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. And I'm glad you tuned in to Jersey Bayshore Country. I hope you'll tune in again next week when we'll do something very interesting, I'm sure. I'm John Schneider, your host. It's been a pleasure. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Here we come.